Growing up watching the Indiana Jones movies, I was immediately intrigued when this game was announced. And when I found out Machine Games, the studio behind Wolfenstein, was developing it, my excitement only grew. Starting the game with a direct nod to Raiders of the Lost Ark was an instant nostalgia hit, reliving those classic moments as Indiana Jones himself was both surreal and thrilling. The Great Circle became the first game I completed in the new year, and I'm glad I did it. It's visually stunning, fun to play, and incorporates stealth and puzzle solving in a way that makes you feel like a real treasure hunter. The game doesn't force you to rush. There's a real sense of satisfaction in uncovering hidden knowledge through puzzles, reinforcing that classic indie experience. From a storytelling standpoint, the game keeps a steady rhythm: mission, story progression, mission, more story, which keeps you engaged without overwhelming you. Some games struggle with pacing, either dragging out missions too long or stuffing in unnecessary fetch quests, but the Great Circle balances it well. It's not a particularly long game, but within its runtime, I traveled to multiple locations, faced various challenges, and felt immersed in the Indiana Jones universe. The musical score was a major highlight. It perfectly captured the cinematic feel of an Indiana Jones adventure, making every moment feel epic and high stakes. One of my favorite parts of the game was diving into investigative elements, searching for clues, traversing dangerous ruins, and outsmarting enemies with stealth. Playing as Dr. Jones himself and maneuvering through environments just like in the movies was incredibly satisfying. I've always enjoyed games that emphasize exploration, puzzle solving, and sneaky movement, so this was right up my alley. That being said, one of the biggest drawbacks was the lack of a truly living world. Some environments felt static. It's understandable that the developers focused on more level design and platforming, but a more immersive, populated world would have made each location even more engaging. The enemy AI fits well within the Indiana Jones universe. Goons that aren't exactly brilliant, but pose enough of a challenge to keep things interesting. Just like in the movies, they aren't hyper-intelligent super soldiers, but they will react aggressively if they spot you. Stealth is a viable option, and when used effectively, you can outmaneuver enemies with ease, making it feel like you're one step ahead, just like Indy himself. While the level design is visually stunning, I ran into some frustrating traversal mechanics. In most cases, platforming works well, but there were moments when climbing and jumping inconsistencies took me out of the experience. For example, in one section of Giza, I came across sand blocks that looked climbable, but the game didn't allow me to scale them. Yet shortly after, I was effortlessly leaping up to a wooden ledge that was much higher. These invisible restrictions are frustrating, especially in a game that should encourage exploration and creative movement. In a franchise as legendary as Indiana Jones, I expect a greater sense of freedom in traversal, and moments like this felt like missed opportunities in level design. Despite its shortcomings, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle delivers an enjoyable and immersive adventure. The puzzle design is intricate and rewarding. The environments are beautifully crafted, and the cinematic presentation makes it feel like you're living out an Indiana Jones movie. While some world-building elements and traversal mechanics could be improved, the stealth, exploration, and action-packed storytelling make it a worthy addition to the action-adventure genre. For Indiana Jones fans, this game is absolutely worth playing. If you love puzzles, exploration, and treasure hunting action, The Great Circle will scratch that adventure itch, even if some of its mechanics could use a little refinement.